Sami Khan, and my group members are Mohsin Ahmed, Hassan Mahmood, and Mohammad Sufyan. Today, we are going to give the final presentation of independent applied research, and our topic is overcoming obstacles to drive GDP growth. Now, here is an introduction in which we're going to talk about the Nigeria's 48% of GDP. Nigerian SMEs contribute 48% of GDP but suffer with the infrastructure, financial, and policy challenges uh, that prevent them from fully contribution to the economy. However, Nigeria SMEs generate almost half of GDP but are constrained by poor infrastructure, a lack of finance, and policy uncertainty. To sustain America's economic growth, it's imperative to address the systematic problem through evidence-based policy reforms that are contribute coordinated. This is the case study context of Nigeria. Nigeria boasts about 40 million SMEs, yet only 20% of SMEs survive for 5 years because of lack of infrastructure and operation. Logistics delays, poor infrastructure, and customer inefficiencies drastically restrict SMEs' growth and competitiveness key issues. These challenges are fundamental to urgent efforts towards targeted reforms to strengthen SME resilience and efficiency. Nigeria has over 40 million SMEs potential. However, 80% fail in 5 years attributable to operational inefficiencies. The poor infrastructure and the customs bottleneck highlight the critical need for reforms to further empower the denominator of uh, SMEs resilience and competitiveness. Why SMEs matter for Nigeria? So, approximately 84% of employments are carried out by SMEs, and they play a key role in reducing the unemployment and the effective participation in the inclusive economic participation. Support SMEs creates self-reliance, improves local production, and reduce the country's dependency on imported goods. Strengthen in Nigeria Strengthen in Nigeria contributes to the diversification of the economy and long-term resilience of the economy to external shocks. SMEs are responsible for 84% of employment, which is critical for reducing unemployment as well as inclusive growth. Supporting SMEs enables self-reliance, reduces import dependency, and promotes economy diversification, leading to long-term economic resilience against global economic shocks. Key obstacles facing Nigerian SMEs. Operational costs are steepened with the inadequate infrastructure and unreliable electricity and undermining SME efficiency as well as service delivery. On the other hand, access to finance remains difficult due to the high interest rates, strictly collateral requirements, and the limited reach of the lenders. Corruption, insecurity, and policy inconsistency further limits SME growth and create an unstable business environment. In Nigeria, it's costly to run an SME due to the poor infrastructure or similar unreliable electricity. High interest and collateral demand limit financial access. Corruption, inconsistency of policy, and insecurity make the environment unstable in such a way that hinders sustainable growth of the SME. Now, moving towards the theoretical framework, macroeconomics forces that affects Nigeria business environment and that of the SMEs are a result of pastel analysis. Porter's diamond model is used to understand SMEs growth and sectoral performance competitive advantages and weakness. The framework help with long-term and evidence-based SME development and sustainability strategic policy making. Pastel Forces and Porter's Diamond framework are used to evaluate the influence of a macroeconomy and competitiveness. Their role is to guide evidence-based policy making in order to identify Nigeria's structural weakness and serve as the basis for strategic intervention in SMEs development and economic performance that are sustainable. Now, I would like to call Mr. Mohsin Ahmed, who will discuss further.
Hello, this is Mohsin Ahmad. So today my part is to discuss infrastructure bottleneck. So one of the main pinpoint is around logistic. Delay and high cost are created by poor roads, congested port and unreliable electricity. All these factors severely limit SME growth, optionally and customer satisfaction, which in turn their competitive advantage both locally and globally. Nigerian roads are in poor condition as stated. Over 70% of the road in Nigeria are bad, which means that SME are affected harshly in their logistic and transportation. Slow good transit time due to port congestion and customer clearance, which often task weak, can distribute the SME supply chain and customer satisfaction. Unreliable electricity forces SME to spend 30 to 40% of sale on power and cut their profitability in half. Now moving toward finance access constraint. So as you know that because of the interest rate vary between the 18 to 25%, countless SME are discouraged to borrow. High security requirement exclude micro enterprises. Development Bank and MFI have limited capacity to scale, failing to serve most of the business and shifting what could be their growth potential. The leading rate between 18 to 25 discourage SME to borrow capital for expansion and innovation. They do not accept security demand to micro enterprises without formal asset, leaving grassroots business more needy. Development bank and microfinancing institution are not able to provide sufficient support to growth need for SME financing effectively. So now moving to policy inconsistency. Trade, tax, and FX policy change occur frequently, distributing long-term planning of SME. They are confused because they are conflicting mandate from agencies. Coordination through the initiative offer support to SME. However, suffer as there is a significant lack of undefined roadmap. Trade, tax, and FX policy tend to change frequently, making planning for the further unpredictable for long-term SME. The absence of an aligned SME roadmap weakens the government coordination and implementation effectiveness in the emerging economic. Now, moving toward the learning from Singapore. Digital governance in Singapore shrink bureaucracy and corruption, which facilitate SME operation effectively. Logistic hub like Chorong Port streamline supply chain. Government-backed loan decrease the risk of bank and financial institution to give greater credit access to SME. Singapore government access simplify SME process, lowering administrative delay and corruption risk. Jorong Port is a logistic hub that streamline distribution to be beneficial to SME efficiency and serve to customer. Low interest government backed loan guarantee to ease of credit access from bank while reducing risk to encourage SME borrowing. Now moving toward Germany, learning from Germany. In Germany, its metal stand model support localized SME through long-term stable financing from public-private institutions such as KfW. Linkage between vocational education and industry lead to a skilled labor that is prepared for address industry demand, thereby improving SME workforce readiness. University partnership contribute R&D, collaborate that promote innovation and competitiveness in SME sector. But in Germany, metal strand local and stable financing overcome. SME needs to address thorough vocational training to meet the workforce requirement. University partnerships support innovations to create SME competitive and adaptable in changes in market. Now I would like to call Muhammad Sufyan to proceed forward.
Thank you, Mohsin. My name is Muhammad Sufyan, and the topics that I'm gonna cover is what won't work in Nigeria. Um, so the first thing is, uh, you know, there may be difficulty for centralized logistics system in Nigeria's federal system and multi-level governance. Uh, Robust educational reforms are required to drive vocational training models in Nigeria, some of which are either lacking of inconstant funding, the adaptation of foreign models, and the risks uh, the risk of failure unless the contextualized uh, cult- culturally and politically and economically. Centralized logistics are complicated by the federal structure in Nigeria. Educational reforms is still weak, which makes the vocational model possible. While it is possible to copy paste the foreign solutions to Nigeria without adopting its unique context, uh, centralized logistics are complicated by the federal structure in Nigeria, as I mentioned earlier. Um, while it is possible to copy and paste foreign solutions to Nigeria without adopting to its unique context, such as like unsuccessful and resource wasted. Now moving to the next step, uh, that is gonna be gonna take by the government. And the PPPs for roads, ports, and energy cut the SMEs' beneficiaries, logistics, cost, and operational delays. Reliable power supply with a lower reliance on per se private generators can somehow electrify the industrial zone. Infrastructural enhancements prompting investors, which in turn evaluates regional SMEs development to result in enhanced economy productivity. Logistics for small medium enterprises can be reduced via the public-private partnership in the roads, rails, as well as the power. It reduced the dependence on the generators in electrifying industrial zones. And it can also help in improving the infrastructure that creates the investment and helps increase in regional economy and overall small business activities. Now moving to the next part, which is the Government Action 2, Small Medium Bank Guarantee Scheme. By providing risk reduction for the banks, government guaranteed loans improve small medium enterprises, credit access, and affordability. This model is inspired from India and can be enabled to growth otherwise uh, unreversible for small medium enterprises. Expansion and innovation, job creation in the economy are enabled through the strengthening small medium finances. As a credit guaranteed, the scheme based in India can be GTMSE can be increased availability of credit. It reduces the bank's risk and also encourages the leading and supportive SMEs growth through their provision of more affordable loans, expansion, job creation, as well as technological innovations in the various sectors become possible. Now moving to the third uh, step taken by the government uh, is SME digital portal. It can also allow small medium enterprises registration, tax filing, and funding from a single online portal which supports services being incorporated, reduction of bureaucracy, increase efficiency, transparency, and admittment for the informal sectors. SME compliance with the resources through their digital channels not only improves their operations but also opens the business for the growth. And no, I would like to proceed further to the government action 4. SME, which is culture-based logistics hub. Uh, SMEs can be beneficial from regions as hubs to provide shared transport, warehouses, and ICT services with the potential of cost reduction. And the other one is delivery efficiency for small business is enhanced by the proximity to the ports and highways. And the other thing is co-location, encourage collaboration, innovation, and save on the infrastructures like collection breaks, breakdowns, and barriers to provide a shared space.
Yeah, thank you,
So,
Sufyan.
so
I
that
would
was
like
that was
to
all from me. No, I would like to hand over to Mr. Mohsin Ahmed, and he gonna proceed further. Thank you.
Yeah, Sufyan, he would like to forward it to me. My name is Hassan Mahmood, and I will give you my party's government action 5. And basically, it simplifies and stimulates the policy. A way to help how to survive and startups in is through providing the tax initiatives for the startups, transparency and the trust improved by the simplification of the procedure and customs, improving the business friendly environment in SME. My next slide is the short and long term strategies. Basically, it is followed by every companies for the to achieve their missions and achievements for the stability for their organization. Uh, Basically, they need the short term steps include launching SME portal and loan scheme pilots on the national infrastructure, education, and logistics. Steel has given them the long term thought. This phased strategy features as in immediate impact and structured transformation and institutional development. My next slide is potential outcomes. Basically, potential outcomes are the outcomes that come from by the company to achieve the goals, which can be like to improve their GDP, as such, failing to the SMEs will decrease business costs will fall, and the formal sector will grow. It will increase job creation, domestic production, and will proper execution. Top GDP can grow 1 to 2% in 5 years. It's a very good potential effect on the company. And the next part is risk and factors and mitigation. The risk factors by the companies faced by the companies, how to mitigate them. Progress can be broken, particularly turnover legislation as well as institutional support are necessary. And the last part from my side is I would like to conclude this presentation now. Five reforms needed: infrastructure, finance, digital access, logistics hubs, regulatory clarity through static support. Nigeria would be transformed by SMEs through their operations, productivity, employment, and reliance, and will be able to boost it through coordinated reforms. A national SME can plan with clearly defined milestones and will full potential, helping to drive inclusive long-term prosperity. And this was from our side. And at the end, we have mentioned all our Harvard style references. Thank you so much.